Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. Today's Thriving Thursday. It's April 30th. This is Keely, your host. And today we get to learn from Wanda Carrasquillo. Wanda shares her time with us every Thursday morning, and I'm so grateful that she does. She has a very wonderful way of sharing the information, as well as she's brought a really nice touch of personal development and mindset training, and the way that she ties it into our business is really, really cool. So some of Wanda's history: she was born in Puerto Rico, and she has earned herself 2 master's degrees in education, despite many life challenges. And in her career, she succeeded in many ways, but only to an extent where she would hit a ceiling every time she attempted to reach higher. She spent most of her time trading hours for dollars, and on the side, Wanda was always looking for business opportunities. She definitely has an entrepreneurial spirit, and that certainly shows with what she's been able to do with Renatus. However, at the time, she really never accomplished much in her business attempts. 3 years ago is when she found Renatus, and Wanda has now exceeded her income goals in less time and in less effort. In her first 8 months in Renatus, she earned 6 figures and has continued to do so each year after. That's really, really inspiring. And now Wanda has completed around 20 real estate transactions, so she's really killing it both on the marketing side as well as the real estate side, just showing us what it means to be a product of the product. Because of her choice to become a real estate investor, her future is now brighter and great things are to come in the years ahead. Good morning, Wanda.
Good morning, Kelly. Thank you so much for that introduction. You always do such a good job, and you select like the best code, the best training for Bob Snyder's videos and Woody's videos is incredible. So thank you for setting the stage for our meetings. And this is so good. I'm gonna share my screen today, but I'm just so excited because things are great. Even though we are in quarantine, even though I am in quarantine, like 24/7 here in my room, really in the house. And I have been only since March 15, I have gone out probably 4 times to the store. Other than that, it's like crazy, right? I don't have my nails done and things are not running the way normally for me in my appearance. And that's very, very much of my personality on the drive system for my directors. But anyway, life is good. We continue to run the business and reinvent ourselves to do something different, to do something like is innovative, right? So we've been creative in the way that we deliver, in the way that we connect with each other. And that is the beauty, that we can adapt. Humans normally adapt really, really quickly to different things. If you remember back in the days you can enter the airports all the way to the gate. Remember those days, and you wait for your family members right there, or you say goodbye to your family members right at the gate where the airplane was leaving. Suddenly this 9/11 happened, and they start putting all these securities, and at the beginning it was kind of frustrating, and it was a little bit of resistant. A lot of people complain about it. A lot of people sue the government and everything because they were invading their privacy because of these machines that they put at the airport. But do you see anybody of it right now complaining about those machines? No, because now we adapt. Now we know that we need to take our shoes when we go through. That the things that we carry on needs to be like 3 ounces or between 3.5 or less. So we packed accordingly, right? And we now it's just an arm. When I'm going to fly in, then if I normally use boots that are hard to take out, I don't wear those until I go through security or something. You just kind of figure it out, right? So now in this quarantine, we just figure it out. And we will continue to evolve. We will continue to adapt because that's what human does. We just are accustomed to changes. And yes, when changes happen, there's resistance, but we adapt again and we accept. eventually, because there's no other choices, right? When you don't have choices, you have to adapt and you have to live with it. So, and I don't know where all of this is going to go through at the end of the day. But what I can envision is that things are going to probably change in the way that more companies will decide to keep their employees at home. Maybe more homeschooling will evolve in the curriculum and in the school system. Maybe, those are things that we are getting accustomed now because we were forced to do something, and now we are getting accustomed to it. When they said they were open, it's like, now it's like, just a minute, I really like to be here. I don't really like to go out or things like that. I just want to travel, just let the airports go, because traveling is my thing. I actually had a booking for my whole family to go on a trip in June, at the end of June, beginning of July, and it's my birthday and so on. And we were going to fly into Copenhagen and take a cruise around the like a river or something, going to Germany and to all of these countries. From Copenhagen, we were going to leave in Denmark, and yesterday we received the notification that it's been canceled. So my siblings and I, we have a little chat, and we were all crying and putting these memes, like, because we wanted that trip, but now we can have it. And now it's like, okay, I don't know when will be the next opportunity that we can plan and get together and be enjoying a trip like that within the family. But when it comes to business, then we need to start adjusting ourselves again. And I want to share with you, let me share my screen here, because I throw like a presentation for you together. And I want to share this with you. What is possible for one is possible for many. Oh, where is my presentation? What is possible for you, for one person, is possible for many people. Where is my presentation? Oh, it's coming. Okay, just patience. See, now we are at these days that you just only wait probably 3 seconds and things are not coming through. It's like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, right? So my slideshow is coming up. And the title that I'm going to emphasize is, what is possible for one is possible for many. Some of us are in this kind of, what am I going to do with my business? What am I going to be doing? This worked for this person, but it doesn't work for me. And all of that, it boils down to telling the story. And this is what is, we need to create this momentum. We need to create this momentum because there are three kinds of people in your business and in anything in this business or in your organization, in your team. The first person is those that are crushing it, okay? In my group, I have Eloy. Eloy is crushing it, okay? So he's like my mini-me, if you will. I would love to find more mini-me's of me, right? Because I feel I'm crushing it. But when I also observe my own business, then there are times in which I crushing it. But there are times in which I'm just hanging there, okay? And it's like a plateau. And there are people who are just hanging here. They come in, they constantly in the meetings, they are there, but it's like it's a social club kind of, right? And they're there, they're hanging there. They make a sale here or there, and they're happy where they at. And there are people who are going on the wrong direction. There are people who are going down. So you have those who are going up and crushing it. You have those who stay like in the middle, like in a plateau. And you have those who are going on the wrong direction. Last week, we talked about the wrong direction, right? With the 5 stages of degradation that Bob Snyder explained. And those are, if you start blaming and complaining and stay in the management mode, basically you are going in the wrong direction and eventually you exit, okay? But we have then these other ones who are in the plateau or crushing it. And sometimes the ones who are going in the wrong direction and in the plateau, we look at the one that are crushing and I'm like, oh, I cannot be like her. I cannot be like him. And the thing is that you need to start embracing that and creating your own stories. And we need to go back to the basics, our money-making activities. Money-making activities. See the people, tell the story, build for event and follow up. See the people, tell the story, build for event and follow up. It should be just like that in your brain. See the people, tell the story, build for events and follow up. I remember seeing Michael saying it that fast. I'm like, I don't even know it. How he learned that? Now it's like, for me, it's so easy. See the people, tell the story, build for event, follow up. See the people, tell the story, build for event, follow up. Know it by heart. But when I analyze my business, my practice, and even if I sit down with any of my ICMs and trying to see, okay, where is the missing piece of your work and what you're doing, everything boils down to telling the story. Telling the story. Sometimes we miss that step, or we don't really make it clear because we think we don't have a story. I don't have a story. I'm too new. And you put all these excuses. I don't have a deal yet. I don't do this. I haven't made money yet. And this is the time in which you have to use their story to build yours. So you use people's story to build yours, or you update your own story. Okay, so let's talk about building your story based on somebody else. Okay, and we have, sometimes you say, oh, I don't know anybody. We have a set of calls in the morning. Mondays, you have Money Michael. And Michael has a wonderful story. You may not relate to everything within his story, but there are pieces there that you may relate that you can incorporate within your story, or you can say to a prospect, hey, I know this guy. And you may not have met Michael first yet face to face, but if you connect and you are on his calls on Monday and you attend the intro meetings, you see him, so you can say, I know this guy. Yes, you know him within the business. He's a PAC member. He started almost 10 years ago, 9, 10 years, somewhere around there. And he was living in the girlfriend's basement, mother's basement, right? And he was full of student loans and working in 2 jobs or 3 jobs. Those things can connect with somebody out there because you have people on that situation. I always said when somebody enters the meeting, to build the business, and they're going through struggles, I always say, you know what? It is okay because you are building your story. This is going to be part of your story. What you're going through right now, somebody is going to relate to it later. That makes sense to you? So if right now, Michael, for example, the first, I believe, maybe Kelly can correct this data for me, but I believe the first year, I don't think he even made like $3,000 or less, somewhere around there in the first year. And now in all of this year, he's a 7-figure income, okay? It wasn't easy. He has to adapt. He has to change his mindset, his behaviors, and some of his way of doing things because it wasn't working for him. So that's maybe why it took him longer to start making money on the marketing side. But he didn't quit. Remember that winners never quit and quitters never win. Okay, so that's really, really important. Then you have Bill Predovon on Tuesdays. on the call. And Bill is like the big deal. Remember, in nationals, he won that award. It's kind of the big deal in real estate, even in marketing. In December alone, he crunched it to $70,000 in 1 month. Okay, that's a big deal. So Bill Credible is the big deal. Okay, so you can relate to him. There's a story there from his story that you can connect to yours to build yours. You don't have to have results to incorporate results from somebody else into your story. Because you can say, hey, I met this guy, and you probably haven't seen him face to face, but you come to these calls on Tuesdays. And he is like having so many deals. And he have done deals, and he just started doing deals, and then suddenly he started to market, and now he's crushing it in both marketing and real estate. Okay. And then you put your vision into it, because if one person can do it, if it's possible for one, it's possible for many. If it's possible for one, it's possible for many. So I am part of the many. Then you include yourself there with that story. Then you have Dane Clark on Wednesdays. Oh my goodness, this boy, he can be my son, but this boy, he is crushing it in both also, in the real estate side, in the marketing side. He has the system going. You want a system guy? Dane is the guy. He has everything in script. He has everything in well organized. He has all these systems put in together because he's an intellectual. Okay. And Dane's story about being shy, and you see how he's now coming out, and nobody would believe that he's shy, right? The way he conducts himself, the way he presents himself, because he learned those skills. He came out of his comfort zone. He expanded also, actually his comfort zone. He didn't stay on that comfort zone in the back of the room in an Apple store, because he had dreams, right? And those dreams made him who he is now. Now he has raised millions of dollars for real estate. Why? Because he expanded his comfort zone. And by expanding that comfort zone, he realized that he can become more effective, that he can reach out more and serve more. Okay? So build your story from somebody else's stories. Then you need to start updating your story. You need to start, because what is happening is that sometimes we start saying, imagine me, I started like a year ago, or at the beginning, I was listening to a video that I recorded like 3 months after I started marketing. And imagine if I keep using the same thing. Oh, I just started 3 months ago, and yeah, I was able, I'm just changing, I'm paying my student loans. I started to use velocity banking, and I'm just allowing myself to pay these credit cards. Yes, I did that, and that's probably, I can keep it in the story, but that was the main thing in that moment. So I have that passion about it, because I was able to pay $38,000 in credit card in 4 months, okay, using velocity banking. I still can refer to that in my story, but I can update it because it's not like right now, right? It's different. The emotion is different. So my story needs to be updated constantly. I cannot say, oh, I've been in the business for 2 years. No, like I used to start my story saying, 2 years ago, I was sitting there where you are. No, now it's almost 3 years and a half. So I need to update all of these things. And what do you say in your story? You base your story in your experiences. And every time you add in experiences, so you need to continue updating your story to add those pieces of the experiences. Then you need to start adding the successes. And sometimes when I hear I don't have any success, you know what? Just learning the drive is a success stories. Just learning velocity banking, that is a success stories. Just learning something within the education, and we have, it used to be like 400 hours. See, I need to update that. It's not 400 hours anymore because we added more hours. So we have, I don't know, I haven't counted the hours. I'm not an intellectual, but maybe 500 hours around there. And I'm probably exaggerating if I count it all together, but it's between there, okay? 32 instructors. We just added Prophet with 9 courses. All of that is awesome. You continue to evolve your story, continue to massage your story, and adding components from other people to relate and to think, yes, I have a story. And then you add, that's when you add the success of others into your components. If you feel like you don't have any success, then add somebody else's success. Oh, I haven't done any deal yet because I'm just starting to get my education going. But I know this guy, Bill Predebon, he has done a lot of deals, and you don't have the number. He has plenty deals to show you in different areas, in different strategies. Or you talk about your instructor, okay? You talk about any of the instructors who resonate with you. I'm learning from this instructor. He's a practitioner. Okay, Brian Song, for example, over 300 deals, and he never lost in any of the deals. That's what he's claimed, right? So learn about those things, and then incorporate your vision within the process. Within the process. And why am I doing this? I want to leave a legacy to my grandkids, to my children, to generations to come. I want to be in just around the world, traveling and impacting other people's life. I don't want to be, circulating now. Depends on all this, how the world is coming right to end. But it's one of the things. It's your vision. It's my dream. My dream is just to travel. I'm going to retire in a cruise. I still have that dream. And be on a cruise for 6 months, for a year. Instead of paying a nursing home, I can be on a cruise. That's my dream. But everybody have dreams, right? Everybody have a vision. And you need to start learning that by communicating with your guests so you can elaborate in those dreams and the visions that they have. Then we're going to start how you're going to tell the story. Okay, imagine me over here. Well, about 4 years ago, I bought this education, and I really wanted to retire because I just don't want to work anymore, and I just honestly don't want to be in a W2 job anymore. So I bought the education, and I started just to just study, and then I lost my job. And do you think that's going to attract somebody? No, you need to be enthusiastic. Hey, 4 years ago, I bought this education. I found it finally because I wanted to retire. I was tired of being tired. Every time, even though I have successes in my life and my career, every time I reach higher, I just hit a ceiling. And I was tired of doing that. I was tired of trading hours per dollar. When you put that enthusiasm, when you put your energy into it, people are going to connect with you. You're going to emphasize the things that you have done and the things that you're going to incorporate into people's lives. because this is all about loving the people, not loving the money. Okay, you love the people and use the money, not the other way around. You're going to love people. That's all you need to do. Just find the people, to love them, to nurture them, and it's not like babysitting. I'm not saying that, but it's just to guide them into a system that will allow them to be independent and have the resources that they need to continue and evolve in their businesses. Because people don't care how much you know, they care about how much you care. Okay, when you care about people, that's a different thing. Like right now, at the beginning of this pandemic and all of that, I started to send notes to my prospects about how they were doing. I wasn't selling. I truly wanted to express my concerns about them. I was here in Puerto Rico, and I received a lot of notes about people asking me what happened when we had the earthquake in January. I know in Utah now the earthquake happened. So I'm texting my prospect, my friends and everything, showing that I care that the earthquake happened and how they were. Just because I want to show that I care. You want to show the love that you have for people, because if you're going to love the people and use the money will come. Okay. Then let's edify. This is another point that is really, really important when you are within the community, and it's edification. Okay. And normally when they intro meeting finish, you do your closing statement like, hey, what would you like best about the meeting, right? And you're going to introduce that guest to your 5-star if you're not 5-star yet. Or you're going to introduce your guest, even if you're 5-star, to somebody so they can relate and share their stories. And even though we are virtually, we still can do that. I've been receiving a couple of texts. Can you meet with this person for a 3 phone call? Sure. Because I know in a regular environment, when we were meeting in communities, people came to me to ask for my story and everything, and to meet people. So now let's do a 3 phone call, and it's awesome. Why? Because we want to edify other people's. We want to pass the baton. You say, and then you be quiet, okay? If you edify the person, and then you quiet. It's your turn to just listen. And then the person is going to tell the story, and then they pass the baton back to you, and then you continue working with your guest, okay? So you help your customers relate to our businesses. You help your customers to relate to somebody within the business, because you want to, you are listening to them, you are showing interest, you are getting into connecting them with you and other people, right? And obviously you strive. This is the most powerful tool that we have. And if you don't have profits yet, it is time for you to get on the board. And Michael is starting this mastermind group, and it's going to be incredible. We're going to be together in a cohort for about 10 weeks, starting on the 5th. And we're going to be going through all the different courses. And we have many surprises coming down, to study together, to learn together, to evolve together, to find ways together to make this around the world, to sell it everywhere. Okay, so get on board. If you are first, you have to be on Michael's team, and then second, you have to be a profit holder. So those 2 requirements are important. You need to be under Michael's. This piece is not for somebody under any other team. So if you're on the Michael's, you want to participate on this, you don't have the profit yet, buy it. So get on board, on the 5th, we're going to close the doors for this mastermind. It's huge. We're expecting over 200 people. So we expect everybody to participate on this. But one of the things that we're going to start is with the drive system. The drive system is so critical to grow our business. It's so critical to, this week alone, I have talked to one or two, maybe three different network marketers, friend of mine who are in different other businesses, but who doesn't want to improve their sales? If somebody is on sales, don't you think that it is a great thing for us to offer tools that will help them to improve and improve their own businesses? This is about profit, and the drive is there, so we can show them how they can drive more sales and increase their sales by purchasing profits. So then they can learn about the animation, automation, about fitness, about multimedia, about the different social platforms, and about drive and communication, and all of the courses, and even banking within profit. So this is the time in which you can build within your study all of these components of our education, because people are hungry for knowledge. Yes, money is good and money will come, but people have to have their knowledge. I was talking to a friend yesterday as well, and she is in Mexico right now. We were talking about this profit, but my conversation with her was, what is your business? She's kind of building a business. She acquired some skills and she wants to make those skills profitable. So I'm coaching her informally about how profit can benefit all the ideas that she has. So first I have to listen to what she wants to create in life, because the thing about this is just so powerful, is that in the past we were just focusing about real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. And some people are so into what they're doing or about their own dreams that they're not going to think that real estate is going to be good for their future, because real estate is to build wealth, correct? But they think that it's only fix and flip, and that's not the case. But now with profits, you can enter into the conversation by building on their own dreams. So I'm talking to this lady, she's in Mexico, like I said, and I'm like, okay, what do you study? Tell me all the dynamics. So she had these courses, these courses, these courses. I'm like, you can put a package together and be coach and put this and giving him ideas. But also I'm telling her, these profit courses are going to help you, because they're going to help you to do this, this, and this, and that. You can learn how to market online. You can learn how to automate your business, how to create your corporations, how to go in the media, how to build your structure. And she's interested. Now we need to work on other things, right? But it's the fact that the conversation began based on what she needs. I have the solution, okay? So by listening to what she needs and connecting with her based on her values and her interests, then I can plug in, because I know the drive. I know drive, and I can converse with her at that level of her needs. All right. So, but now how are we going to construct our story? And some of us over here are new. Some of us already are experts on telling our stories, and we just need to tweak it a little bit to make it more relevant to this moment. But really, to create your story, there are a few questions that you need to answer on that story. And the story can be a long one, it can be a short one, but most of the time you want to create a 1 minute story, 3-minute story, so it's not, it's something relevant that you can attract people really quickly. So ask yourself these questions. What were you looking for when you found the team? What were you looking for? So I was looking to retire, right? And you can start building through that. Answer the questions. What have you already learned since joining the team? Back then, when I started, I wanted to retire. So I learned through my friends that real estate will be the best way for me to retire, right? So I'm building my story. What have you already accomplished, either in real estate, in marketing, or in both? If you're new, tell the story for somebody else in the community. Okay, and then and that's what I was saying. Well, I wanted to do fix and flip. I love the shows, and I just wanted to do that because it's kind of attractive, right? So you just build within that. And then the last question is, what are you looking forward to achieve and why? My why is to retire, to be in a cruise around the world for 1 year, 6 months or 1 year. Instead of going to a retirement home, I want to be on a cruise, enjoying life when I retire. And I don't know if I'm going to ever retire because I don't think there's a retirement plan here. It's just that it's just a matter of how you perceive. Because to me, I have passion for teaching. I have passion for sharing and for inspiring people. So I'm continuing to do that for the rest of my life, even if I get paid or not. But obviously, you're creating wealth that you can be anywhere in the world and be producing. So basically, you're going to become the self-promoter. The same lady that I was talking yesterday, she's like, you're good because you know how to sell. I'm like, I don't really know how to sell, but I am a good promoter. And I told her, you are a good promoter. You're just telling me what you know. So you're promoting yourself. That's selling because people don't want to be sold, but they want to buy, right? So, but when you connect, then you see and give value, they want what you have. So it's not like, hey, here I have these packages and this is the education. So it's like Woody always said, show don't tell, right? No, I'm talking to her and then I'm inserting my conversation in profit. And she's going to see the value. She's going to then make the decision. And I just here to collect decisions, right? So what I want to do now, and we have few people in the line. Let's see. I think today people, how many people we have here today? Well, we have several people on the line, and I just want to see if we can take a moment to give this a chat. So think about what is your story. Think about the components that I included into the presentation, and I want to call in a couple of people, or one or two, to tell a 1-minute story really quickly. I want to go through as many people as possible to come up off mute. Let me stop sharing my screen here. And I want to call someone. Let me see. Or maybe I call on a volunteer first who want to give us your story. So that way we know each other better and we can call on your story when we need it. So who would like to share the story? Anybody? Alinda, are you on?
I'm on. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, how are you, my dear? I miss you.
I miss you too.
Yeah.
So my story, I started in July of last year, so not quite a year. I didn't know what I was doing. I found it on Facebook. Somebody made a post and I was like, I could do that. New empty nester, all of my kids were grown, and who am I? I don't know what to do. I have all this time. I thought maybe I could volunteer since I've been coaching for so long. So I thought, hey, I'll give this a try. So I actually had to chase down the Renatus The girl that I saw the post wasn't there anymore, couldn't find her. Then I reached out to Craig and went and saw an open house by myself and just decided, okay, I can do this. And I just plugged my nose and jumped. And here we are into almost a year later, and I've done 15 deals and 3 team members. I have a team member on the call. Jason just started 2 days ago, 3 days. This is his 3rd day, and he's already working and watched most of his classes. So welcome to him.
Welcome. Thank you, Alinda. And I remember when she came to the meetings and she was so hungry for knowledge, you know. And one thing that Alinda is very much is a characteristic of her, and is that she shows passion. Every time she's like bubbling, she's smiling, she shows passion for what she's doing. And congratulations, Joseph, no, Jason. Jason, welcome aboard and welcome to the team. This is awesome. Thank you, Alinda.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share your story? And I'm so proud of Alinda because, you know, at the beginning, it's like she wants to do everything, but she's crushing it in real estate. She does wholesaling. She's doing a great job. So congratulations to you for all your accomplishments. Yes. And anybody else want to share? Or if no, I'm going to call in somebody.
I can share.
Oh, perfect. Renee, come on in.
Hi, my name is Renee Dunnigan. I started in late November. And the irony of all this is that I was introduced to Renatus, or 2 people in Renatus tried to introduce me. But the timing was just all off. And I just wasn't open to hearing anything at the time. I was getting my real estate license, was going through a pretty toxic relationship, and was dealing with some pretty heavy health challenges. And finally, I was coming out of that and had just gotten my license and had decided to leave the ex, now ex. And I met Julie, and she listened to my story, and I had told her my frustrations with having gone through Rich Dad Poor Dad, and she invited me to the Kendall Stock event, and I was sold from day one. And I have just been learning lessons and improving my craft, if you will, this whole time. And I'm excited to start seeing some major results. I have a few team members now, and I'm starting to help them to develop.
Very well, Renee. Thank you so much for sharing this, because you know what? Your story is amazing. There's a lot of people where you at, or where you were last, you know, whenever you started. And you started in one of the best teams in the whole entire nation with Kendall Stock. My goodness, he's an instructor. He has the knowledge, you know, he has the experience in deals and in marketing. Kendall, I love Kendall, and he's Richard Stock's brother, and Richard is, I'm in his line, like, so it's Richard, Michael, and I love Kendall. So you have a great community supporting you. You have built the foundation, and I'm congratulate you for whatever you have accomplished so far. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Let's see. If not, I'm gonna call in somebody. I want to hear from Jenna. Jenna and we had a nice conversation the other day, and she called me with frustrations, and I love you, Jenna. So come on in and tell us your story in less than 1 minute or a minute.
Thank you so much, Wanda, for having me on. So before I started with Renatus, I was a stubborn 25-year-old and had a lot of stories in my head that really kept me from success and kept me from feeling and seeing that actively pursuing and embracing capitalism was actually a way to achieve my dreams and be a way to help other people really be able to provide service to larger communities. So basically, sorry, I got a little bit nervous for a second. I know it's a much smaller group today than usual as well. So I found Renatus because of a friend of mine who I had seen posting things on Facebook and really ruffling people's feathers and challenging their mindset and the way that they thought about money and abundance in itself. And he piqued my curiosity So I reached out to him, and then because of my own self-limiting beliefs and my own distractions and really still being comfortable in the life I was living, he basically had to follow up with me for almost 2 years. And because of his persistence and the fact that I could feel that he believed in me and saw the greatness in me, I finally said yes and jumped on this crazy ride that has completely changed my life. And when I started, I had no resources. I probably had less than $500 in my account at the time or at any given time. And my credit was absolutely completely torn up. So since then, I have just been able to change so much around my mindset. And I owe so much of that and this opportunity to Michael White. I know you're on the call today, so thank you for believing in me. And since then, I've set up myself to pay off my student loan 6 years early and saving over $10,000 in interest. And I went from being someone who barely knew anything about real estate, and I knew what a mortgage was, and that was it. And I knew that I didn't want one. And now I'm getting ready to set up my first short-term rental. I've put in offers on 5 deals now. I haven't went through with those ones, the wholesale ones. I ended up walking away from because the seller was asking for too much. But just being able to get over that analysis paralysis and actually start and take action and make those phone calls, it's completely changed my life and the trajectory of it. I see a way to be able to impact other people. And after EMT and my time with Michael Huggins, I became 1-star, and now I'm 5-star, and I just have to owe it all to the community, and especially to you, Wanda. There was one last piece that was happening in my mindset that I really needed to fix, and our conversation definitely helped me with that. So
Thank
now
you.
I have, yeah, thank you. I have a handful of team members, and I've signed up 2 people and have about 4 more in the funnel since the quarantine has started. So people still need this information, and they're still willing to make that investment in themselves.
Yeah.
So thank you, Renatus. Thank you, Wanda.
Thank
And
you, Jenna. She is a fireball. Jenna, I met her when I went and did a Super Saturday in Denver, and we became friends on Facebook and so on. And one day she comes, and I hope it's okay for me to share this, but she came
Absolutely.
with some limited beliefs, because that's what it is, limited beliefs. And she's like, oh, I'm Hispanic, I'm brown, and people, I'm like, what? No. So we started that conversation, and I'm like, no, you are not that person. You have that color, but you are not. And that is really, really important. When you start saying I am, that's when your brain shuts down to the possibilities. I am not whoever people wants to box me into it. I am who am I. So I am successful. I am a great leader. Okay. But yes, I'm a person of color, but that doesn't make me less than anybody else. So, and those are things that you need to start thinking. And when you build your story, that's why when you do it with passion, because you know who you are, and you are who you are is within you. And everything, all the answers are within you. This is awesome, guys. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you for those who share. I do see, we have a few more minutes, but I do see a couple of questions in the chat. And one is from Anne. And Anne said, do you know if they plan to have Prophet available in other languages? Prophet is available only in English. I don't think classes are going to ever be transferred, or maybe not yet, translated, but they all have the subtitles right now. So you can switch to Spanish if you're thinking in Spanish, and people can have the subtitles in Spanish. Spanish is the only language that have been checked for grammatical errors. All the other languages are not. So, but Spanish people, we have a team of Spanish in corporate, and they are checking all the classes, the scripts and everything for the different courses, and those have been edited. If you select other languages like Japanese or Chinese or whatever, those have not been edited. They have been only translated by the virtual intelligence. Let's see. Hi, Wanda, please, can you share the slide deck? Yes, I can, but I did this on the Apple program, so it's not a PowerPoint, but I can send it to you, Anthony. Text me at 801-879-7340. Let me write down my number here, 801, oops, 801, hold on. One moment. Let me put my number here and you can text me 801-879-7340 and send me your text with your email and I can share it to you. Yeah. Okay, and then let me see, we have anything else? 15 deals, wow. Very good. This presentation is already in Facebook group in the Elevate Renatus or Renatus Elevate Facebook group. If you want to go back and re-watch it, if you came late, it's fine because it's there, so it is fine. And we will have the recording on YouTube, and Kili normally upload those presentations really quickly. So thank you, Jenna. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Alinda and Renee for being part of the conversation today. And I hope that if you are new, you can take this to your core and make it happen. Make it happen. This business is not difficult. See the story. I'm sorry, see the people, tell the story, build for events, and follow up. Those are the 4 money-making activities. And remember something that I said at the beginning of the presentation. What is possible for one is possible for many. What is possible for one is possible for many. Talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later. I have to jump in my call, my pit call. So talk to you later, guys.
Thank you, Wanda. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great time there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, Keely.
Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Keely.
Thanks.
Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.